Hey guys, Achilles here with another build, this time from the forgotten stepchild of Diablo, Witch Doctors. Look at these guys, they're awesome. We're gonna talk about a Carnevil build, a Zuni Carnevil build. Zuni Moss as a set is not a competitive set, just thanks to the nerf to the Ring of Emptiness a couple of patches ago, which stopped that ring from working on anything other than the actual character, the Witch Doctor. So Ring of Emptiness doesn't buff pets. If you guys don't know what Ring of Emptiness is basically an equivalent of Crispin's Sentence for Necromancer class. It's exactly 300%, just like a fully buffed Crispin's Sentence, and it has a clause that you have to be hitting a target that is already affected by both of your Haunts and Locust Swarm to get the 300% bonus damage. But a couple of patches ago they nerfed this ring and it no longer works with pets, therefore doesn't work with any Zuni setup. That just made Zuni an inferior set, yet a very fun off-meta set to be from the fiddling around with, and I love this set. Hopefully one day Blizzard think about this set and put the hatred aside and buff the Ring of Emptiness again. So what is Carnevil? Carnevil is a Witch Doctor voodoo mask that allows 5 of your closest fetishes to you, these fetishes or sycophants. They shoot a powerful poison dart, as you can see. Every time I shoot, they shoot. They tend to shoot to the direction that I'm shooting, or exactly where your cursor is. Let's put it here so you guys can see. And it is buffed by 250%. That's what Carnevil is. So in order to basically put all of our eggs in the Carnevil basket, we're gonna buff our pets as much as we can. The shot they do is pretty much your poison dart. So how does Carnevil work? Carnevil literally copies what you're doing and then adds a 250% multiplier to it. That's not exactly how it does it, but for simplicity's sake, let's just put it that way. So how can we buff this? The first thing is our set piece, so we're gonna use 6-piece Zunimasa. I think I only have 2-piece Ogged, so you guys can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we use Finger Royal Grandeur in a cube, which allows people who are playing in season, if they want to use this setup, just to have a bit of fun. It's going to be a couple of tiers, way more than actually a couple of tiers, below the current meta, which is either Jade or Firebat, but still, you can use combination of elements here. The other thing that buffs our pets is this Voodoo Mask, Mask of Jaram. Buff our pets by 200%, which adds to the elemental category, which as you can see is poison. 2-piece poison, so that would be 40% plus 200%. The other thing is this, which I'm gonna talk about. Depth Digger. How does Depth Digger add a buff to the Sycophants? Depth Digger increases the damage of the primary skills that generate resources. So first, the primary skill we need to choose is one that generates resource. Obviously, we are going to use Poison Dart, none of these other things because of Carnevil. There's a rune on Poison Dart that generates resource. Spine Dart. Every time we shoot a Poison Dart, we gain 50 mana. That allows our shot to be buffed by Depth Digger. I told you what Carnevil does. It grabs exactly what you're doing, gives it to these pets, and then multiplies it by 250%. Therefore, Depth Digger literally is a multiplier to these Sycophants shots. It wasn't before, but I think it was patch 2.4.1 that they made a lot of these items a separate multiplier. Depth Digger included. So now this item literally increases your damage by 100%. It's a separate, complete separate multiplier. The other thing we're going to be using is obviously Enforcer Gem, increased pet damage. We're going to be using Bane of the Trapped, solid, huge multiplier. And since we are going to be a melee build pretty much, we're going to activate it by just either that standing close enough or by these two spells, Pyrenedos and Grasp of the Dead. And the third gem is Simplicity Strength. Simplicity Strength is wasn't the exact same situation as Depth Diggers. After that 2.4.1, this gem became a separate multiplier. Damage of your primary skills. Poison Dart is a primary skill. Carnevil copies this skill and adds a 250% multiplier to it. Therefore, this is another 100% multiplier to your entire damage. You guys can go and test these yourselves. I don't think I have the time to include all of that in this video. But we're going to talk about our other items and our stat choices, and we're going to get back to that. So we're going to use 6-piece, obviously Zuni. We're going to be adding that Endless Walk in our setup for 100% damage increase and also a moderate damage reduction if we need to by just running around. Belt we're using Witching Hour. This belt can be switched with the belt that produces Sycophants, which is here, Belt of Transcendence, and use a different passive, which I'll explain in a little bit. Shoulders, Zuni doesn't have any shoulders, there's nothing else we can put in here. You can literally use any shoulder that you have available. Since pets can proc area damage, we want area damage wherever we can, but it's not our priority. I'll explain to you what is the priority of these stats and then we go through the rest of it. You can use any shoulder piece. The stats you want on these pieces are Fetish Army. You can use a little bit of cooldown, but just on shoulders. Fetish Army and area damage is pretty much what you want. But we want Fetish Army on every piece, which is shoulders, chest piece, and offhand. And then we want Poison Dart on our belt and pants. Poison Dart is pretty much a skill multiplier, which is gonna be multiplying. Well, it's an additive buff, which is gonna be buffing our Poison Dart. Therefore, these 5 fetishes that shoot. And Fetish Army. Why Fetish Army here and not Poison Dart again? Because we can get Poison Dart. Fetish Army is not going to be added to this thing. Fetish Army, as you can see, it increases the damage of Army of the Dead and our Sycophants. Fetish Army is going to be an absolute separate multiplier to our Sycophants damage. You guys have seen this interaction before. The two additive buffs are actually not added together and one is multiplied to the other on DH. Marauder said exactly with the Sentries. If you play N6, M4 or any kind of Marauder that your Sentries do the damage, the sentry damage is gonna be a separate multiplier to all of your damage. It's gonna be a complete standalone. That's what's happening here, so that's why we want fetish army and everything. I'm explaining this with such passion, yet this is just making me sad. I can't use Ring of Emptiness in the queue. Our choice of weapon is Dagger of Darts is a necessity. Unfortunately, mine was already rolled when I found it in my stash. I don't know why I rolled it that way. You want maximum attack speed on that thing. Attack speed, again, is in the calculation of pet damage. So pets get your sheet damage, so you want attack speed on every piece possible, which is our gloves here. If I could get attack speed on this piece, I would have. I just wasn't lucky enough. And also our compass rose. That's why we're using Witching Hour for that 7% attack speed as well as crit damage, crit damage. That would be basically our gear setup and stats. In the cube, I've already explained these, I'm using Sacred Harvester for more Soul Harvest stacks, so I can get more damage reduction through Lacumba's Ornament. Every stack gives me 6% damage reduction. As well as, if we're gonna choose the Rune Languish, so we get 10% armor per stacks, and Soul Harvest gives us 3% intellect per stacks as well, which is again direct multiplier to your sheet intellect right here. So yeah, I'm gonna show you a little bit of gameplay and see if you like it. I don't know what level I can do, but I assume 108 should be a good place to start. Let's give it a shot. Remember, you are a squishy. When you get into the rift, the first thing you want to do is you want to start summoning your sycophants. The fetishes are the ones that give you damage reduction based on how many you have out. So I'm trying now. You can see it top left of my screen here. I have 15 fetishes. Each of them give me 3% damage reduction. So as soon as I spawn them, then I'm a little bit in the clear. Zuni requires you to hit enemies with a mana spender in order to give you or give your fetishes the damage increase. Stop shielding! Fucker! Here you go. So the mana spender I'm using to basically get the multiplier from Zuni is Pyranado, which you're all familiar with if you played Witch Doctor. It's the bread and butter Witch Doctor. And I'm using Grasp of the Dead. I'm using the Desperate Grasp, which is a rune that reduced the cooldown of Grasp of the Dead by, I think, half. I think literally reduced it by 4 seconds or something. So I can spam it better. I want to cover the screen or cover whatever my pets are hitting. I'm gonna resummon my pets here because they're fighting up there for no reason. Remember, you don't need all of your pets to be beside you to do the damage. Carnevil only buffs the five closest to you. So we want to hit. I think I'm gonna die here. Oh. So we want to have at least 5 of these fetishes close to us. If the rest of them are fighting enemies, that is not a bad thing. They're gonna be our damage sponge. They're gonna sort the damage, tank the melee attacks, while we sneakily stand behind them and shoot. We're like Teemo in League of Legends. Channeling pylon, absolutely useless. Allows us to spam. Remember, you have to shoot in order for the damage to occur. The pet damage, like pets just running around auto-attacking, and GR is absolutely negligible. It does nothing. So whenever you shoot, they shoot. So you want to make sure you're always auto-attacking. That is why attack speed was important, as well as attack speed is just a separate multiplier to pet calculation in this instance. Okay. Dagger of Darts. Pierces through enemies and applies that poison dart damage from Carnevil to everything that it pierces through. And as I said, since the pet damage can proc area damage, those darts piercing through enemies can give us a huge amount of damage potentially. Ooh. Dangerous monsters. By hitting everything in its way, therefore proccing area damage right there. That was the area damage that killed the blue, because the yellow was closer to us. I don't know if you guys can see what I mean by a bugged damage reduction, because the set damage reduction is always a multiplier to your other damage reduction. And 3% per pet. Currently I have 23 pets. That means technically I should have 69% damage reduction, which is higher than current Jade, as well as 10 stacks of Soul Harvest, which is another 60% damage reduction. How am I getting smoked is beyond me, and yet I play Jade and I'm so tanky. Our source of healing, I didn't have any life per hit on my gear. Our source of healing is Simplicity Strength. The second clause on Simplicity Strength states every time we hit with a primer skill, we gain 4% life. I think it's gonna die here. Yep. Hit with primary skill ability heal you for 4% of your life. So that is a huge amount of life, which makes it completely unnecessary to put life per hit on your gear. Simplicity Strength is actually the only gem that we cannot change. And it's set up because it's bigger than both Enforcer and Bane of the Trapped. As you guys saw, we're not using Stricken, so two reasons. One, I don't think we're gonna reach or hit a seal that we need, a ceiling that we need Stricken for the boss. Secondly, I am not doing a tier that I need to Stricken, but if you felt that you are struggling to kill the boss and you need a kill the Rift Guardian and you need a level of a damage boost, you might wanna drop Bane of the Trapped for Stricken. Bane of the Trapped and Enforcer both have the same multiplier. One gives your pet a huge damage reduction, the other one just slows targets, which is a clause for its own damage increase. So it's a no-brainer that if you need to drop a gem, you would drop Bane of the Trapped. What is this light show? What the? Yeah, we're out of here. Um, I must say, controlling sycophants are a lot easier than controlling gargantuans. They feel a lot smarter. You don't need to relocate them. Maybe because there are way too many of them. Oh my god, look at my health. Just shooting a couple of these to heal with simplicity. As you guys can see, it's healing for a very good amount. Not like this. We gotta focus a little bit, otherwise we're gonna find ourselves with no time for the Rift Guardian. Especially since we are in a Corvus! Who wouldn't want to be in a Corvus? Pick me, pick me, pick me. Make the maps smaller. I love these tight, claustrophobic areas for an action RPG game. Yay! Nice, Blazing Guardian. Wow. Ooh, I see a lot of mothers. Or wretched cavaliers. Dead mothers. Oh, that's actually the first Oculus we got in a very long time. The reason we're not getting Oculuses is the very well designed Oculus. The item only gives you the circle, whether it's on you, your follower, or someone in your party, if the shot that kills a monster comes from you. So let's say one of my fetish sycophants kills something, I'm not getting an Oculus. That's why we don't get an Oculus on cooldown. You guys can see stuff's dying and we're not getting a single Oculus. Oh, I killed that one. So if there by any chance I kill something, then I would get the Oculus ring, which is on my follower. Excuse me, can I pass? Do you know where the exit door is? Yeah? No? Okay. Just wanted to clobber me. Ooh. So many blues. I think there are 2 different blue packs. Because I see a ghoul. And I see a goat. And I see me being feared. I think I'm dead. Oh, let's just get out of here. Oh wow, Oculus. Remember, you have to constantly slow the target you want to kill. Or hit it with one of your mana spenders. More precisely, in order to benefit from the Zuni Master set. And a yellow pack is about to die. Does that spawn the boss? No? Why not? How about a pylon? Oh, I take a speed. It helps us stack more stricken. Just kidding. No stricken. Ha! Friendly. How you doing, buddy? Are you gonna one-shot me or what? Oh. 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 Not today. Why is he just trying to hit me? There are 23 other targets beside you. Any chance you go for them? They're actually doing way more damage than me. How do you know you have to hit me? Can I get Prendy as a pet? He seems smart. Oh my god. This is not a fair fight. He has more pets. We can't even go for activating. I'm trapped, but you're dead. Yes. Okay. I love this build. Always exciting. We're just gonna quickly go through his skills and passives, and I'll tell you the alternatives. For skills, we explained why we need to use Spine Dart. Although it is a physical rune, you as a witch doctor is the only person that is gonna shoot physical. Carnevil shots, the headpiece shots, always shoots poison. Grasp of the Dead, Desperate Grasp, is a 4-second ability that procs our 6-piece Unimasas every second it ticks, not just on activation. Every second you see these ghouls' hands and the zombies grab on enemies. They take damage and they constantly refresh your Zunimasa's 6-piece bonus. Soul Harvest, damage reduction. Lakumbas, that's why. We use the Rune Language for more armor. And Piranha's Piranado to stack mobs together so we can pierce and shoot all of them at once. This is really good skill in density. Also activates our 6-piece. Spirit Walk, I'm using the Jaunt rune just to make it last longer. You guys saw how squishy you are in a dense environment or a dangerous Rift Guardian. This helps. For our Fetish Army rune, I am using Legion of Daggers because it gives me 8 fetishes. All other runes gives me less than 8. Some gives me 6. Some gives me 5 plus 2, 7. This Legion of Daggers is the only one that actually gives me 1 extra one. The rune on it is completely irrelevant. As I said, your fetishes damage is irrelevant. Only those fetishes that shoot darts, and there's only 5 of them. So it doesn't matter what rune you use, only 5 of them gonna be important. Fetish Sycophants, a must, either this or the Belt of Transcendence, in order to bring your fetishes up to 22 or 23 for more damage reduction. That's how the 4-piece works. You gain 3% damage reduction for every fetish you have alive. These ones last 1 minute or 60 seconds, and Fetish Army ones, they last forever. I don't think they're gonna die at all as well, just because of this gem. Your pets take 90% less damage. Enforce it. Grave Injustice. Every single solo build uses this because it's a great passive. You get life, mana, and also 1%, 1 second cooldown on everything every time you kill something. It's a great passive overall. Confidence Ritual is a 25% damage multiplier. It's not an additive buff. I'm using this because I'm using Bane of the Trapped, so it synergizes perfectly with Bane of the Trapped. We get into the density right in the face of the enemy, and we do a lot of damage. This, you guys can change to your liking. I'm using Pierce the Veil for just a 20% additive damage. The mana cost is irrelevant. What we're spamming doesn't cost mana, it actually produces mana. You can choose a Spirit Vessel, Cheat Death. You can choose Bad Medicine, 25% damage reduction. It is true that you're not dealing poison damage with this, but Carnevil does, so therefore, and Grasp of the Dead is obviously poison, as well as Pyranado. 25% damage reduction. Blood Ritual, Zombie Handler, 20% health. Or we can use just a 15% flat damage reduction without any claws. But yeah, they're all valid. All are great passives. It's a choice between damage reduction or damage increase. And this concludes our Zuni Masses Carnevil build. I'll post a link in the description below for a D3 planner to this build, as well as Diablo fans. Please like and share the video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel so it helps me make more of these videos. Thank you.